This is the smartest order to invest your money in Singapore. Today, I'll walk you through the 5 steps I believe in. Stay until the end because step 5 is the most controversial. Here is a shocking stat that gets me every time. A 2024 survey by OCBC Financial Wellness Index found that 40% Singaporeans don't have enough savings to last 6 months in a crisis. Around 42% of them say that they don't have enough money to meet family needs for the next 1 year. Here is the truth nobody puts in their investing videos. Step 1 is building your safety net. Your emergency fund is more important than your investment fund. It is the foundation where everything else sits on. Without it, your investments are always one crisis away from falling apart. How much do you need? The mainstream advice is 6 months of expenses. If you spend $3,000 a month, you are targeting $18,000. If your job is unstable, push it to 9 months. So where do you actually keep this money? Personally, I have a unique way to keep my emergency fund than most people. What I do might not be suitable for you. Please understand your own risk tolerance before you do anything. I split them into 2 buckets. I keep the first $10,000 in a bank savings account. This is money I need in 5 minutes and zero risk. But anything above $10,000, it feels like an opportunity loss. So money above $10,000 goes into the money market fund. One that has recently caught my eye is the iFast SGD Enhanced Liquidity Fund. In simple terms, the fund tries to keep your money safe, grows it a little, and make sure you can get it back when you need it by spreading it across high-quality bonds, other money market funds, and bank deposits. Quick disclaimer, this fund is low risk, not no risk. So capital is not guaranteed. Compare that to a traditional savings account, most are paying just 0.05% interest. And if you want the highest bonus rate, you have to meet all sorts of conditions, like crediting your salary into that account or spending a minimum amount on their credit card. It makes me very angry. The iFast SGD fund has none of that. You can invest in this fund using Longbridge. Just enable the Cash Plus features in the app. After that, any cash sitting idle in your account gets automatically invested into the iFast fund. You don't have to do anything else. Yes, Longbridge sponsored this segment of the video, but I'm only willing to work with a sponsor if I'm comfortable using my own money. I could make more money promoting anything that pays me, but I'm not proud of that. I would rather run this channel at a loss and still be able to look you in the eye. At the time of recording, the iFast SGD fund has returned 1.7% per annum on a 7 days annualized basis. If you sign up using my QR code or link in the description, you will get a 10% per annum interest boost coupon on your first $2,000 for 180 days. That is an extra 4.9% in half a year alone. Combined with the fund 1.7% return, you are hitting 6.6% in your first year. You will only get this boost if you sign up using my link. I may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. Thank you so much for supporting my small channel. Think of your emergency fund as your safety net. When something goes wrong, and it always does, you won't be forced to sell your investment at the worst possible time. Alright, so you have built your safety net. Now we deal with the thing that's quietly bleeding you dry every single month. Quick question. If I offered you a guaranteed risk-free 28% return on your money, would you take it? Of course you would. That is step 2, paying off your high interest debt. And here is why it is urgent. According to the survey, about 30% Singaporeans have unsecured debts, which include credit card debt. 35% are worried about not being able to pay off their personal loans. Credit card interest in Singapore typically runs around 28% a year. Meanwhile, the stock market historically has returned around 7 to 10% a year over the long term. So if you are carrying a $5,000 credit card balance while also investing in an index fund, you are losing money. So what is the fastest way to pay off your debts? I recommend the avalanche method. List all your high interest debt from the highest interest rate to the lowest. Make the minimum payment on every single one, but throw in every extra dollar at the highest interest rate once first. Once that is gone, roll that payment into the next one and repeat until they are all gone. Now, what counts as high interest? Personally, I use 6% as my line. Paying off high interest debt isn't just a financial decision. It is buying back your freedom. Every debt you kill is more money you can save, invest, or just breathe. Now, the next step is where most people either rush or skip entirely, and it is going to save you from making a very expensive mistake. I have a friend in his late 30s. He met his girlfriend back in university. They dated for 7 years through his first job, her postgrad, a long-distance relationship where she studied overseas, and at least one breakup they have never talked about, but they have always found their way back to each other. When he decided to propose, he went all in. Surprise proposal, overseas pre-wedding shoot, grand ballroom wedding banquet, the kind of wedding you see on Instagram and think, someone spent a lot on this. He wanted that not just for his wife, but for his mother as well. His father has passed away. He's the only child. This was the memory he wanted to give to his mother. He had put most of his savings in the stock market. He felt like he was on track to compound his return to a solid retirement. But right when he needed the money to pay for his big wedding expenses, the market has dropped. He sold a large chunk of his investment at a loss. He did not tell me how much, but he had no choice. The venue wasn't going to hold the date, and their parents had already pre-invited their relatives and friends. That's why step 3 is keeping your short-term money safe. If you need that money within the next 1 to 5 years, for a home deposit, a wedding, a career break, it cannot be in the stock market because you might be forced to sell when the market is underwater. So where is the best places to park short-term money? The 3 most common places Singaporeans use are Singapore savings bonds, fixed deposits, and money market funds like the iFast SGD fund I talked about in step 1. The goal here is to not maximize return. The goal here is to not lose this money because this money has a job and that job is showing up on time. So your emergency fund is built, high interest debt gone, short-term money protected. Now you can finally start investing. But here is where it gets overwhelming for beginners. According to the survey, Singaporeans say that the worst financial decision is buying the wrong stocks and buying from untrustworthy source. I have been through this before. The hardest part about being a beginner is not knowing what you don't know. Step 4 is picking a brokerage that is low cost and licensed by MAS, Singapore's financial regulator. Check out Longbridge. Longbridge offers lifetime $0 commission on US, Hong Kong, and Singapore stocks. Now you are thinking nothing is free, and you are right. For US stocks, there is still a platform fee of $0.005 per share with minimum 99 cents. For Singapore stocks, it is 0.03% with a minimum 99 cents. But if you deposit $2,000, new users can get coupons with 0 platform fees. That actually matters because your first trades tends to be your biggest. There are also third-party fees, but those are not Longbridge fees. You have to pay them regardless of what broker you use. The total cost is extremely competitive compared to other brokers in Singapore. Not only that, if you deposit $2,000, hold it for 30 days and make 3 buy trades, you will get $80 in Nvidia shares. That is a 4% return. If you sign up by scanning my QR code or use the link in the description, you can get 10% per annum interest boost for 180 days on their Cash Plus fund I talk about in step 1. I may earn a small commission if you sign up, but no extra cost to you. Thank you so much for supporting my mini YouTube channel. Now you have opened a broker account. What do you actually invest in? If I was starting from scratch as a beginner in Singapore, I wouldn't touch meme stocks, IPOs, individual companies, penny stocks, or crypto. The volatility is too high and the risk isn't worth it. I would invest in a global index fund. The idea is that your money is spread across thousands of companies across the world so that your money is not concentrated in one company or one country. Just a quick note, I'm not licensed to give out financial advice. These are options that are popular among Singaporeans. These are not recommendations for you. Please understand your financial situation and do your research before you invest. For Singaporeans who want tax benefits, they choose global ETFs which are domiciled in Ireland. These ETFs are listed on the London Stock Exchange, but it requires signing up with interactive brokers. The process can feel like a job interview. For some beginners who want quick and easy way to get started, they like to use global ETFs listed on the US. These are available right here on Longbridge. It only took me 5 minutes to create an account. Yes, compared to Ireland domiciled ETFs, you pay a little bit more dividends withholding tax, but it is better than not investing at all. You could make up some of that difference through Longbridge generous rewards. And US listed ETFs usually have a lowest expense ratio than its London's cousin. Now you are finally investing. You think that that is the last order to invest your money, but there's still one big thing hanging over your head. Something most people argue about for years, and step 5 is going to give you a clear, simple answer. Should you pay off your low interest debt first like your mortgage, or invest that money instead? This is one of the most debated personal finance questions out there, and people have very strong opinions about it. There are 2 schools of thought. The first school, pay off your loan as fast as possible. Some people just don't like being in debt. The second school, pay off your debt as slowly as possible. Invest your extra money instead. Here is the math. Your HDB loan runs at around 2.6% interest. A bank mortgage is between 3 to 4%. The stock market historically has returned around 7 to 10% a year over the long term. Step 5 is paying down your low interest debt because mathematically, investing tends to come out ahead. But paying off mortgage sooner is guaranteed return and tax-free. If paying off debt helps you sleep at night, go ahead. Personal finance is personal for a reason. The best financial decision isn't always the one with the highest return. Would you pay off your mortgage early or keep investing? Drop your comments below. But here is something that has never happened before in history. Did you know that the S&P 500 right now, the top half by weight is almost AI related stocks. So if you are investing in an index fund thinking you are diversified, you might want to think again. In my next video, I will cover how AI has changed the way I invest. Subscribe now because you really want to watch this video. I will see you there.